There are rumors around that Elon Musk is investing in Bitcoin, and that part of the pump that we are seeing in Bitcoin is actually coming from him and Tesla investing into this rocket, if you want to call it. And in today's video, I want to analyze how true those rumors could actually be. I want to discuss how he could be investing in this, what will be the mechanics, and I'll give you a bit of my verdict if I think this is very likely or very unlikely, and obviously what would be the effects on the crypto markets if he did. With this, enjoy today's video. Hey and welcome to today's video. My name is Julian. On my channel, it's all about making you crypto fit that discuss the beautiful world of decentralization, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, most of all Bitcoin. Today, we're actually connecting Bitcoin to one of the greatest entrepreneurs out there, Elon Musk. Now, if you're new to this channel and you are enjoying the topics of Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, click the subscribe button, click the follow button, no matter if you're watching this on LinkedIn or YouTube or Twitter. You don't want to miss any of this content, especially right now. If you are recurring, do yourself a favor, click the like button. I tell you what, I have a special deal with Bitcoin going on. The more likes we're getting, the higher Bitcoin is going to pump. So if you want Bitcoin go up, click the like button. I know there's going to be people out there who say, I'm a bit skeptical about this. Well, do you really want to risk it? Do you want to put bad karma onto Bitcoin? Nope. So click the like button and we're going to have a lot of fun together. With this, let's dive into today's video. There's been a lot of rumor on Elon investing in Bitcoin, and well, this rumor basically has been going on for a couple of months. I think he actually owns a quarter of a Bitcoin. That's what he at least says. And yeah, but let me just quickly go through a couple of tweets so you can see this. It kind of started again when the crypto hype started. And I'm 100% sure you know Elon Musk. He is the entrepreneur from South America, living in America, in the US right now. He basically, SpaceX, Tesla, the Boring Company, Neuralink, so many things come down to him. And obviously, Bitcoin would be a mention heaven for him. And one thing he said here, end of 2020, was, hey, Bitcoin is my safe word. And obviously, the crypto world went haywire and went nuts. And then just a couple of minutes later, he said, just kidding, who needs a safe word anyways? And then every once in a while, he starts trolling by saying that he's the former CEO of Dogecoin. Yeah, him and Dogecoin, yeah, just have a lot of fun. Every once in a while, he talks about how Dogecoin is actually complete crap and is, basically has no value. And then he says, no, just kidding. It's if you want to have a lot of fun, invest in Dogecoin. So yeah, he's actually kind of pinballing with Dogecoin all the time. He thinks that's quite funny. But where the real discussion actually started going were a couple of things. And the very first one was here with Michael Saylor. And Michael Saylor, if you don't know, is the CEO of MicroStrategy. And he, on the one hand, invested pretty much the entire treasury into Bitcoin. On top of that, he raised funds to invest into Bitcoin. And so he talked about how it makes absolutely sense for any company out there to actually do this, to take the treasury and to invest it into Bitcoin. And don't forget, MicroStrategy is a multi-billion-dollar company, publicly traded. So yeah, that's quite big actually. And well, there was this discussion, and then Elon commented or replied, are such large transactions even possible? So obviously now the entire crypto mill started working. Is Elon buying Bitcoin, yes or no? And well, this got even crazier then when at the beginning of this year, so this is not long ago, Ben Mertzek, if you haven't read his book, Bitcoin Billionaires, fantastic book. And he says, hey, I'm telling you one thing, I'm never turning down getting paid in Bitcoin again. And here Elon replies with, me neither. So obviously, the rumor mill is going. A lot of people are thinking he's actually buying Bitcoin for himself personally. He's buying Bitcoin with this massive multi-billion treasury he has at Tesla. Now, before I go into my analysis, what's your opinion? Right now, what do you think? Do you think Elon is upping his half or a quarter of a Bitcoin into, I don't know, hundreds, thousands of Bitcoins Do you think he's buying tens of thousands of Bitcoins with Tesla? Let me know your opinion. Let me know in the chat, in the comments. I think would be quite curious to hear that. Now, I'm going to give you a bit of my perspective on that. Very first, how would this even work? Now, obviously, him personally, I don't know how much liquid cash Elon has, because as far as I know, most of his assets are being tied up in his companies. But what would be super simple for him is just to go to a bank and say, hey, look, I'm gonna give you $10 billion worth of Tesla shares as a collateral. Elon is close to what, 200 billion, so that would be 5% of his assets that I'm gonna be locking up. And then he would take 1 billion that he gets for those 10 billion, and he uses this 1 billion to invest in Bitcoin. So this would be 0.5% of his entire net worth, super tiny, but would be $1 billion. He wouldn't need any outside cash. He would probably get a super cheap loan. He probably would pay a 1%, 2% on that per annum. So absolutely nothing. So that would be him personal. I'm not sure if he would buy anything lower. I'm not sure. I mean, 0.1% is already 200 million worth of Bitcoin, maybe, but definitely he would be buying in the hundreds of millions if he were buying personally. Anything else is just irrelevant, right? I mean, even if Bitcoin would tenfold or 20-fold, it would have no significant impact on his net worth. So why even bother, right? So you need to have some kind of significant stake there. For the company, obviously there, it would be a bit of a more complicated situation, because he would have to convince, I would assume, the board in how he would use the treasury. And so the idea here is, well, since the dollar is devaluing, being devalued by 10-20% every year, why not put part of that into an asset that has been shown to increase, be a very good storehold of wealth, and in Bitcoin, and use that. And so that would be kind of the theory. There would be enough OTC desks, over-the-counter desks out there. He could probably do it via Coinbase. MicroStrategy did it with them, so I would assume that he would use the similar kind of playbook. He might be talking to Jack Dorsey from the Cash App, from Twitter, getting some insights. They also invested $50 million. So, I mean, I think the strategy would be very easy. I think for him to execute personally would be an absolute easy move. I think on the company side, probably a bit more difficult. But in general, look, the rumors would be quite easy to be executed. I think also his mindset is quite open-minded. He's made a couple of comments on how money is it's very important for money to be easy accessible and to have very little friction, and to not be censorable. So look, all the kind of cornerstones are there. So that's a bit of my kind of groundwork here. Now, with this, let's kind of fantasize what would actually happen to the Bitcoin market if this were to happen. Well, first of all, he would be sucking in, I would say, at least a couple $100 million, either if he did it personally or if he did it on a company. Anything else just doesn't make any sense. Why would someone that's worth close to $200 billion, why would this person care about investing 20 million? It's totally irrelevant. I mean, the Tesla stock on a daily basis fluctuates more, basically on an hourly basis, than Bitcoin 10xing from here. It would be completely irrelevant, right? So he would buy hundreds of millions of dollars on the minimum, whether personal or in a company. Just imagine what this would do. So it would suck up a lot of the liquidity. So the price inevitably would have to go up massively once he starts buying. Now, you don't know if he actually does, but it would have to. That's the first thing. The second thing, as soon as this becomes public that he had bought Bitcoin, I mean, the markets would go haywire. He's such a strong influencer for so many tens of millions of people. He's a role model for so many entrepreneurs, for so many investors. He would, I mean, I really believe Bitcoin would probably go into the hundreds of thousands relatively quickly, just because of this tremendous impact that he would have, and obviously this kind of endorsement that he would give to this new kind of type of money. But again, let me know your opinion on this. What do you think here, right? So just kind of, I want to put some perspective on this. So, okay, with this, let me give you, before I give you the result, right? Let me give you the result and the probability, how I would see this. Let me give you a bit on anything that I have read about Elon Musk. I've only met him once, really briefly. He actually had my cryptocurrency book in his hand. So that was actually quite cool. Yeah, whatever I've seen from him, read from him, and again, there's nothing personal there, it's purely public. He 100% has always been betting on himself. And I think he has this very strong conviction that he can do whatever it takes to make an investment successful. And you see this with Tesla. You saw this with SpaceX. In anything that he did, I mean, all the proceeds he made from PayPal, he rolled over into his new companies. There's this very famous quote: "He barely could pay rent." So I think this is the entire mindset. And obviously, Bitcoin goes in the exact opposite direction. In Bitcoin, he invests into, who knows, right? I mean, you invest into an entire network, into a community. You invest into a belief system. Money is a belief system, right? You invest into anything else. Also, the other thing, I'm not sure if he wants to take that risk on the reputational side, something that he cannot control. Also, don't forget, he has never been good with the SEC. Do you think the SEC is gonna like this if he comes and says, "Hey, by the way, I'm investing hundreds of millions into Bitcoin. The dollar is not worth much anymore." You really think they're gonna like this? So to me, the personal philosophy that, in my opinion, he always shares, the SEC kind of side, the Fed kind of side, the undermining the US government, I probably think that the odds of him buying Bitcoin are probably less than 10%. Very, very slim chances. And for those reasons. And probably also because of a potential upside for him. Even if he invested $1 billion and this $1 billion goes up by 20x, right? So we would go from 30,000 to 600,000 in Bitcoin price. Put this into perspective for him. The $1 billion would become $20 billion. That's 10% of his net worth. That's like nothing. It's totally irrelevant, right? So just kind of put this a bit into perspective. So is it completely impossible? No. I think there's a possibility. I just think this possibility is relatively slim. And it would really surprise me if he actually invested in Bitcoin. So my conclusion here is this: you should buy Bitcoin because Bitcoin is a fantastic asset to hold. But don't buy it because there's rumors out there that Elon is already buying or Tesla is already buying. Because I personally think these are really just rumors and they are probably not true. Very, very slim chance. Yeah, so that's a bit of my take on all this. Let me know what you think. Let me know if some of the thinking is a bit different from how you would judge him. And hey, never stop dreaming. And with this, don't forget, click the upvote button. Bitcoin goes up and higher the more you click it. So I'll hope you do that. See you next time. Thanks so much. Yours truly, Julian.